Your specific person will text you right away, even if they talked to you a long time ago. Don't be shocked, because it is definitely possible, and you can do it very easily. It does not matter if you talked to them last week, last month, or even last year. Time and circumstances do not matter when manifesting. So, if you are having a desire to connect with that specific person again, then this video is definitely for you. You can make it happen, you can change your circumstances, and you can shift into a new reality where you are in constant touch with your specific person. Right now, you might feel irritated or frustrated because they are ignoring you. By feeling these emotions, you are getting into a state of consciousness. This state of consciousness is manifesting more reasons for you to feel this way. The key here is to break this loop of manifesting unwanted scenarios by replacing your old assumptions with the new ones. You have to understand that your present level of consciousness will only be transcended as you drop the present state and rise to a higher level. You rise to a higher level of consciousness by taking your attention away from your present limitations and placing it upon that which you desire to be. In your case, you are focusing your attention on your present limitations of not receiving a text from your specific person. You are focusing your attention on the negative scenarios, and your attention is keeping you stuck in a state of consciousness where you are manifesting similar circumstances. You have to change it by making a new assumption. First, you have to understand that manifesting a text message is not a huge thing. It might appear to be a huge task for you because you have kept it on a pedestal. When people keep their desires on the pedestal, they start manifesting all the limitations in their lives. They start pushing away their desire. In my day-to-day life, I have seen people doing this. They do this either by thinking that they cannot have it or by placing so much importance on that one single thing that they make it the oxygen of their lives. For instance, I have seen some of my friends do this when they look at a car they like but it has a higher price than the usual car. They discuss all the good things about the car, but end their conversation on the note that it is such an expensive car that I won't be able to buy it in my lifetime. I have to sell my house to get it. They think they are trying to act funny by making such jokes, but your subconscious mind, or as some people say, the universe, does not differentiate between your jokes and actual statements. It stores the data it receives from you. So, if you think and talk as if you won't be able to get it in this lifetime, then life will mold itself to present you with the circumstances where you won't be able to get it. By looking at those circumstances, it will become evident that what you were saying was right, and you will not be able to have it. I am pretty sure you too have done it in the past, and you too have such people in your life who do this on a daily basis. So, the first piece of advice for you is to stop doing this. Instead, in your mind and in your imagination, you have to become a person who can get anything that they want. And that too in this lifetime. You have to adopt the mindset of a person who can have anything they like, no matter the difficulty level of that thing. Secondly, people place their desires on a pedestal. I have seen people make this mistake again and again. I have a friend who makes this mistake. She keeps her desires on pedestal and fails to get them. There is a friend of mine that I don't talk to these days because she has a habit of doing this. Whenever she gets into a relationship with someone, she makes this mistake. She starts keeping her partner on the pedestal. She does this by ignoring her friends. She disappears from their lives. She doesn't call, text, or meet. When our friend group makes plans to meet, she never comes and doesn't communicate. Doing this changes her state of consciousness. She makes her partner the oxygen of her life. This changes her energetically, and she starts viewing her partner as the only person who can give her happiness. By doing this, she places that partner on a pedestal, and she starts pushing him away. The partner can sense it and starts ignoring her, eventually breaking up with her. Then she is left alone. We tried to communicate this with her, but she never listens, and she has done this multiple times, which ruined her previous 3 relationships. This is very common. Many people do this and end up losing their partners. Even if they have a new, specific person and want to be with them, they still make this mistake by considering that specific person as some god and thinking that they will be happy when they get in a relationship with them. They think that this is the only person that can keep them happy, and they end up placing that person high on the pedestal. So, stop doing this too. You have to stop placing your specific person on a pedestal. It is just a person like many others. You have to have this attitude if you want that person in your life. Stop viewing them as higher than you, and stop viewing yourself as lower than them. If you do this, then you are on the right path to manifest a specific person and text from them. Now you have to get rid of the contradicting beliefs that tell you that you cannot manifest them. Your beliefs become your reality, and your doubts are the blocks that stop it from happening. Now you have to live from the end and visualize a scene where it has already happened. If your specific person has blocked you on social media, then you have to imagine that you are already receiving their texts on the social media app on which you are blocked. Imagination creates your reality, and your imagined scenes become your reality. Determined imagination. Thinking from the end is the beginning of all miracles. So, think from the end of receiving a text message from them. When I tell you to think of a scene, some of you would say that I would think of a scene where I am chatting with them. Well, this scene is good. But if I were at your place, then I would think of going on a date with them. When I imagine such a scene, then I am truly living from the end of receiving a text message. If you want to manifest a relationship with them, then imagining a scene where they are proposing to you is good, but imagining a scene of celebrating an anniversary with them is much more powerful. In both scenes, you are truly living from the end. Receiving a text message would be the least of your concerns. You will live like it is no big deal, and you will remove it from the pedestal, as I talked about in the beginning of the video. It won't matter that much to you, and you will stop creating doubts. That is when it manifests in your reality. Right now, you are at a point where you are wondering whether it will take place or not. To manifest it, you have to get to a point where you are certain that it was meant to happen. When that happens, you manifest your desire into your reality. Text messages will flow like water into your life when you truly start living from the end. Communication is the initial phase of any relationship, and texting is a form of communication. When you are communicating with a specific person in your imagination, you are in a way texting them spiritually. You are sending them signals, and if those signals are from your desired state of consciousness, then you will get evidence of your imaginal acts in your reality. I was reading the success story of a person. Let's call her Susan. So Susan had a crush named Joseph. She was trying to manifest a text message from him. She had been trying to do it for weeks. After watching countless videos on manifestation and the law of attraction, nothing was working for her. She was doubtful whether it would work or if it was all a lie. This started to cause lots of doubts within her, but she didn't give up. She tried to give it a try, as she had nothing to lose. So, she started visualizing a scene where she was hanging out with Joseph. The scene was simple, and they were walking in the park that was familiar to both of them while looking at and talking about the beautiful flowers that were surrounding them. She used to visualize this scene a couple times a day. Her goal was to feel the feelings that she got while imagining that scene. She was not anxious about whether it would happen or not. She was having this beautiful feeling while imagining it, and she used to imagine that scene to get that feeling. Also, randomly throughout the day, she used to affirm that Joseph loves hanging out with me, and he talks to me almost every day. She used to repeat this when thoughts of Joseph popped up in her mind. Then one afternoon, Susan was having lunch, and the weather was beautiful. It was just perfect. So she decided to go to that park for a walk. Mind you, she didn't choose that park because of her imagined scene. She didn't even think for a moment that she would meet Joseph there. In her mind, she just went there for a walk. As she went there, she bumped into Joseph, and Joseph started the conversation with her. For a moment, she was amazed. She couldn't believe it. She realized that she had manifested it. They both walked in the park, and they were talking, looking at those beautiful flowers, and her imaginary scene played out. From then on, they started texting each other, and Susan's affirmations became reality. Susan was grateful, and manifested what she wanted. You too can do it. You too can manifest it. You too can have it. It costs nothing to imagine a beautiful scene where you are with your specific person. It costs nothing to imagine a romantic scene where your specific person is cuddling with you. It costs nothing to imagine a scene where you are at a beautiful resort in the mountains at night, looking at the sky full of stars while holding your specific person in your arms. These are some imaginary scenes that I can create in my mind's eye. You can have other such scenes. If you find it difficult to imagine a scene, then I have created a guided meditation video that is specifically designed to manifest that call and text message from a specific person. Many people have shared their successes in the comments section, and you can find that video by clicking on the first video that appears at the end of the screen.